I'm Dr. Rebels, and you're listening to the REVELSations podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, and let me know that you are listening. Hit the thumbs up button, share this with somebody that might benefit from his message, and remember to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell an enemy that you are listening to the REVELSations podcast. And lastly, we are all family and friends here, so please call me Rev. The topic of today's short talk is the power of the algorithm. The power of the algorithm. Let's get into some dictionary definitions as we like to do here on the REVELSations podcast. We're all on the same page. Let's start with power. We've done this definition before, but we're going to use it in a little different way. So, power, the ability to act or produce an effect, the ability to control people and events. Power of the algorithm, the ability to control people or events. Thank you, Cambridge Dictionary. Then we have control. Control is to order, limit, or rule something or someone's actions or behavior. Okay. Back to power, the ability to control people and events. Control, the ability to order, limit, or rule someone or someone's actions or behavior. And then I said the algorithm. The original definition of the word algorithm is a process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. What problems? What problem solving? But the real algorithm we want to get to is a data tracking system in which individuals' internet search history and browsing habits are used to present them with similar or related material on social media or other platforms. Let's get to it. First thing I want you to do is, as you listen to this or after you listen to this, go to your phone. Open your phone, as I have mine, and go to your social media page, or in my case, I would go to my YouTube page, your Facebook page, wherever you go, and just scroll. Just scroll. Up, down, side to side, just scroll. And as you scroll, pay attention to what you see. Pay attention to what you see. And you'll notice that what you see is what you like. What you see is what you like. And it's amazing that our phone is showing us what we like because there is an algorithm. There is data tracking. What are they tracking? They're tracking your swipes, your likes are being tracked, your views are being tracked, and it's beginning to feed you more to your browsing habits, as it says. And it presents you with similar or related material on social media or other platforms. And it begins to control what we see. It has the power to give us what we see. And what we see oftentimes impacts how we think. And what we think ultimately does impact how we act and what we do. So, in light of recent events, and I'm not even going to talk about the recent events because this podcast, it's supposed to be forever. So it's not just about current events. It's about living our life. But in spite or in light of current events, I have been inundated by my friends with some news that has happened in September of 2025. A lot of news, something big happened, and people have been bombarding me with things about this news event. And I have purposely not clicked on the items. And my friends have said, "Hey, did you hear about this?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I did hear about this. I understand what's going on. I mean, I'm aware, but even if I'm not participatory, even if I'm not participating in the debates or I'm not participating in the online conversation, I am aware of what is going on." And they're like, "Oh, well, just open this and look at it." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to influence my algorithm." And they're like, "What do you mean?" Well, if I click on this, my computer or the internet is going to begin to track and say, "Oh, Rev likes this type of information." And they're going to begin to infiltrate my inbox. They're going to begin to add more into my streams about a topic that, quite frankly, I don't want to be involved in. I don't want to be involved in the topic because it causes division. I don't want to be involved in the topic because it fuels hate on either side. And I'm not saying one side is better than the other. Both sides seem to be hating one another. And I just don't want to participate. I sort of want to take my ball and go home. So I am understanding that the algorithm tries to control what I see. And if it controls what I see, it then begins to control what I think. And if it controls what I think, it ultimately controls how I act. I'm going to take the power and control back. And I'm going to then control my algorithm. I watch very carefully. I keep an eye very carefully on what I watch, on what I ingest, on my socials, or on my YouTube, or whatever I'm coming across, because I don't want the algorithm to have influence over me to show me things that I don't necessarily want to see. I can stay abreast of the situation without engaging in the situation. And I'm learning that oftentimes when people are engaging these situations, they find themselves in arguments about things that really don't matter in the greater scheme of their life. People are getting in knockdown, drag out fights, fisticuffs, physical fights, violent altercations over things that in the greater scheme of life don't matter, over philosophical differences, over ideologies, not over anything that really matters. I'm reminded of a story that's happened to me and one of my friends, good friend of mine. We go way back. We were having a conversation about something that had nothing to do with our friendship. It was just a philosophy on a particular situation. And me and this friend, we did not see eye to eye on this particular situation. Now, again, we had been friends for years, and this situation never came up. And clearly, if the situation never came up and we were friends for years, our friendship was based on all these other things and not this particular situation. And me and this friend got into a verbal spat over something that did not impact our friendship. As proven by, we had been friends for several years, and this situation never came up. It came up because it hit the news cycle, and we began to talk about it, and we fell on opposite sides. And at this particular time, me and this particular friend did not know how to agree well. No, I'm sorry. We didn't know how to disagree well. It's even better. And I don't actually think we knew how to agree well either. We were just looking for each other to like sort of piggyback and say, well, yeah, I agree with that. Oh, we like it. We didn't know how to disagree well. So it blew up. When I say it blew up, it became an argument. And I said some things that I didn't want to really say to my friend. My friend says some things that they didn't really want to say to me. And for a while, we stopped talking. And after a while, I thought about it. It's like, why am I not talking to my friend over a situation that doesn't really impact my life on a day-to-day basis, doesn't impact their life on a day-to-day basis, and it has never impacted our friendship. But now we're at odds because of a philosophical difference that has nothing to do with our lives. Okay. So the olive branch was reached out. I can't remember if I reached out or the person reached out, but the reconciliation happened and we've talked about it. And this was years ago, and we've talked about it in recent times. And we have learned how to agree better. But the problem is what happened? We allowed the outside information to infiltrate us through the algorithm. And we began to read more about the topic. And yeah, I like that. Or no, I don't like that. And then we brought our philosophies to one another. And, oh, they have a different philosophy. And I've heard people say, well, I was friends with this person for all these years until I found out they thought this way. And because I think opposite, I no longer want to be friends with them. Or I cannot be friends with somebody that supports this political party. Or I cannot be friends with somebody that supports that political party. I cannot be friends with somebody that thinks this way racially. I cannot be friends with somebody who thinks the other way racially. I cannot be friends with somebody who thinks this way in the economically or whatever it is. And it's like, but we're being influenced every day, inundated with these things, and they're controlling what we see. Therefore, they're controlling what we think, and ultimately they're controlling what we do. And I don't have the solution for it, but I can tell you that in all the turmoil that's going around in September of 2025, Dr. Revels has found peace, and I have found peace by getting out of the conversation, remaining out of that, and controlling my algorithm, taking back over my algorithm. So when you go through my news feed, it doesn't have a lot of what's going on. And when it does, there's a thing you can do. You can click the little 3 buttons on the side, look at the bottom and says, not interested. Don't show me more things about this. I'm not interested in this video, not interested in this content. So after a while, the algorithm realizes, oh, he or she does not like this. Let me not send feeds to them on this. Now, it's not foolproof. You're going to get some of it. It's almost like having an umbrella. The umbrella is, I don't like this. I don't like that. But the umbrella keeps you from getting soaked, but you still get a little wet. There's going to be a few drops. So sometimes it penetrates and gets through my algorithm and I'll be hit with a video, but I have to consciously say, I don't want to be involved. Let me go back in there and say not interested. And what happens? I think that we have a fear of missing out where people want to be a part of the conversation. And I think that people get charged up and it's like emotional drug. It's adrenaline, it's dopamine. And people are like, yes, I really want to be fired up about this. But then they end up arguing over things that don't matter and are not about their day-to-day lives. It's not necessarily impacting them to the point where they need to stop having friends because of it. So do we need change in the world? Do we need help? Are these terrible situations awful? Absolutely they are. But we can still control our algorithm because we definitely know the media is trying to control us, what we think, and what we see, what we think, and how we act. But we can take that control back by not letting them send us all these things in the algorithm. Because again, the algorithm is the data tracking system in which individuals' internet search history and browsing habits are used to present them with similar or related material on social media and other platforms. Again, they're tracking. So we then have the power being the ability to control people or events. So I can control this algorithm with my power. And then I have the control to order, limit, or rule something that falls into my inbox, that falls into my mentions, that falls into my socials. So what are you doing about your algorithm? Are you letting it control you? Are you controlling it? Are you being inundated with information? And then you're finding yourself upset about the information that you're being inundated with. You don't even know it's subconscious. I don't know why I'm mad about this. Or I just find myself angry. And I'll be honest, I find a lot of Americans angry all the time. And there's reasons to be angry. But if we're always feeding into the algorithm, they're going to continue to feed us things that make us angry. Right? It's the old adage, I'm unhealthy and I'm sad about being unhealthy. So I eat, which makes me more unhealthy, which makes me eat more, which makes me more unhealthy, which makes me eat more. So I'm angry about the system. So I pay more attention to the system, which makes me more angry about the system, which makes me pay more attention to it. And the cycle continues. So I'm not a psychologist. I'm just someone who's trying to make the world a better place bit by placing my one grain of spiritual sand on the earth. And I would say, control your algorithm. If you control your algorithm, you can control the information that's coming from you, and you can definitely control your outrage, and you can control the things that are making you angry. That's all I have for you today on the REVELSations podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcast. Let me know that you're listening. Tell a friend, and share this with somebody, and tell them that you are listening to the REVELSations podcast. I am, because we are. Hallelujah, holla back. Peace.
Yeah, the revelations now televised. A platform for you and I. And now look with full heart and clear eyes. Now, these are just my thoughts. Truth on how I feel on these topics I reveal. Please know my toll, I always keep it real. Can't face the word if you can't face facts. For your time, just open up your mind. That's it, just live, think big, now take that. With God in me, this here was made by design. Yeah, the revelation will be televised. REVELSations.